This video will count as the administrator training for the COGAT assessment for 3rd and 4th grade. Our window for the COGAT testing is October 12th through 22nd. This week we participated in the NC check-in, so we will be conducting our COGAT testing on Monday 18th, Tuesday the 19th, and Wednesday the 20th. Why do we give the COGAT? We give the COGAT to give teachers and parents an additional measure by which students are nominated for placement in the academically gifted program. This is used in addition to an observation checklist, classroom performance, and other measures. It can be used along with other information to adapt instruction in ways that enhance the student's chances of learning success. It is a norm reference test given to all 3rd and 4th graders in Wake County in the 2021-2022 school year. Typically, this is a test that is only given to our 3rd grade students. However, last year, we did not participate in COGAT, so we want to be able to give those students who would have been in 3rd grade last year the opportunity to take this test and have this as one of their measures. It also appraises the cognitive development of students, and it measures students' learning reasoning abilities. These abilities are developed through in-school and out-of-school experiences. Administering the COGAT. The COGAT is a test that is administered over 3 days. Please allow 5 to 7 minutes of additional time per session to distribute and collect materials. It's 90 minutes total of actual working time, and that's 90 minutes divided over 3 days. So it is only 30 minutes a day of actual working time. We will be using a Form 7 for this assessment. 3rd grade will be using the Level 9 test, and 4th grade will be using the Level 10. So just please make sure when you get your books that it actually says Level 9 and Level 10, the appropriate levels on there. The administration guidelines. You guys were given these guidelines in your purple folders prior to track out. Make sure that you've looked over the manual advance. Read aloud only the directions in blue. So you'll see other directions, but the blue is what you're actually going to be reading aloud to students. Do not provide any demonstrations or explanations of actual test items. Do not supply any materials not listed in the manual. There is at least one sample question per test. Be aware that materials may vary from test to test. Follow the script as written, but feel free to repeat, explain, or provide additional examples if necessary before testing begins. Students should not be encouraged to make random guesses. So this is one test that's a little different than tests in the past. Typically we say, make a guess, any choice is better than none. However, on this test, they only grade the sections and the questions that they have completed. So they should just take their time and don't encourage them to rush through or make those guesses. And proctors do not have to be present for the administration of this test. Eligible students, all 3rd and 4th grade students who are not on the Extend 1 content. So pretty much all of our students beside our EC students who are in a separate setting will be taking this test. The demographic information. So the answer sheets you'll notice have been pre-coded. I have already went through and have gone and done our ethnicity and race and in each of the spreadsheets, the answer sheets. If you have to have a new answer sheet due to a new student, if you go ahead and fill in the name, I'll go ahead and I can fill in their Power School number as well as their race and ethnicity. When testing is over, I will go through and I will code any student who is IEP 504 or ELL. Day 1. So day 1 is the verbal battery test. There'll be 3 separate tests, 10 minutes long for each. The directions begin on page 16 or varies depending on the manual, but be looking for our day 1 verbal battery section. Pay close attention to the directions in brown, but remember to read only directions in blue to the students. There's no scrap paper needed for this day. And collect materials after the verbal classification test. So you'll do the 1 test, read the directions, 1 test. Again, follow that same suit 3 times, and at the end of the verbal classification time, you will collect all materials. Day 2 will be our Tuesday, and this is the quantitative battery. Again, there'll be 3 separate tests you take. The directions begin approximately on page 29. This is the only day that you will use scrap paper that students will have due to the math nature. Double check to ensure that all students get the correct answer sheets with his or her name. and collect test materials after the number series. So that's the test number 6. You will collect all the materials. Make sure that you collect any of the scrap paper as well, as I do take those, and I hold on to those. Test 3. So on day 3 will be the nonverbal battery test. These are the 3 tests that you'll finish on Wednesday. The directions begin at about page 37. There's no scrap paper today. This is especially important that a scrap paper isn't given, because there are tests like our paper folding test where students are not allowed to use paper to actually fold to mimic the test. So be very careful and make sure that they do not have paper available. Double check to ensure the students get the correct answer sheets with his or her name. And again, do not demonstrate the folding the paper on test 8. Okay. The biggest thing I can say about this test is that these tests are reused every year. Unless a student has mark in book, which I do not believe any student who are getting an in-class test, that only the pullouts would have mark in book, students should not be writing in these books. They are used every year, so we need to make sure that there's no writing in them. All answers should be put onto the answer sheets. If you have any questions about the COGAT or testing the COGAT now or prior to the test, just please let me know. I will also be down to each one of you guys on Monday to answer, ask any questions, and give you all materials that are needed for the test. Thank you very much.